is a doctor dedicated to finding solutions for lots of people in the entertainment industry, especially those with social, mental health issues, and drug and alcohol issues.
Licensed clinical psychologist Dr. Howard Gluss is here to talk about this issue as well as his new radio show. Nice to have you here, Doctor.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to have. Thank you very much for having me.
So your focus is really a lot on the entertainment industry. Why do you think it's so necessary there, what you do?
Because I think that a lot of creative people want to look into those creative areas, and there's a lot of fear and anxiety associated with it. And when they look into it, sometimes their own issues may come up and merge with that sort of creativity, and it'll bring up a lot of pain or anxiety with them. And they feel like they have to create from that area. So many times, in order to create from that area, that pain gets masked with drugs and alcohol. And what we're trying to show with our new show, Rock with the Doc, I'm very excited about it. And actually, I want to say the reason I love the title is I'm forced as a psychologist not to take myself too seriously.
Right.
Well, that will help.
Because that's what I always tell patients.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I just felt after years of doing this work, there was such a great need in that area for that kind of help. And,
but how do you do?
How
do you do that on the? How do you use the radio as the vehicle to get that mental health, substance abuse issue? Because I feel like that would be more of a better one-on-one conversation.
Well, we get a lot of people from the industry. We recently had some precursors to this show. So we had Wes Geer from Korn on, and he talked about his journey with drugs and alcohol. We had Danny Trejo on, even though he's not in the music industry, he's in the entertainment industry. And talked a lot about his journey. And if people hear people's stories and it makes them real, and they hear the isolation that people go through and the pain, but how they've been able to turn that around and create something very positive in their life, I feel it's very inspirational. And maybe that inspiration will inspire, again, people to go get the help they need.
You know, it's interesting because we talk about the radio, but radio's a really one-to-one relationship.
It's like being in a therapy office.
You're pretty much in the car by yourself, and I listen to radio all the time. So I would listen to your show and listen to what you have to say, and maybe I may or may not take action on what you're saying, but I am hearing it, I am listening, sort of forcing myself to listen to it. So it's almost like being a psychologist to the radio, right? And hopefully getting your message out to a lot of people one-on-one.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's like being in a therapist's office. People get to hear that experience of what people go through. And one of the issues I've come sort of to recognize over the years is people feel so isolated in their addiction, and they feel like they're the only ones going through it. And if they hear other people, especially people that are famous, that have been through it and have been able to turn their lives around and create something special from it, they go, you know what, I can do that too. So I'm hoping with the radio show that people will pick up the phone and get the help they need. And they also see how complex the issue is.
Right. Speaking of the complexity, I feel like pick a celebrity, any celebrity, and most likely in 85 to 90% of the cases, there is some sort of either mental health issue or drug and alcohol abuse issue with that person. Why is it so prevalent in that particular community?
I think there's two reasons why. One is, a lot of creative people also have some serious issues that may have brought them, let's say, serious mental health issues like depression that may have merged with their creativity in order, like they use their creativity to sort of heal their depression or for self-expression. And then as they go through the process of doing that, they're also very gifted, but the thing that was masking their depression, let's say the creativity or the success, then comes to the forefront, and they've got to start dealing with it. So that's, I think, one of the major issues.
Is social media an issue? Or the kind of constant spotlight an issue?
I think it is, because what it is I've had patients say this to me, if I start believing my PR, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Because they build an image for me, but that's not who I am. And without revealing, so I had a patient recently who said, I wish when I went on a date, someone was just going on a date with me. And I think the other issue that people are naive to is, just because you get very successful in the industry, it doesn't mean your problems go away. It means your problems are actually more complex and maybe more difficult. And for a lot of people, there's this magical belief, like, if I become a star, everything's going to go away, I'm going to be fine, my life's going to be taken care of. What happens is I become a star. My life is more complicated.
Right.
It's more difficult.
That's so true,
So the issues hit them even more.
So again, the radio show is when?
It's going to be Sunday nights, KABC 790 AM at 8 p.m., and it's going to be Rock with the Doc.
Rock with the Doc.
All right.
Yeah.
Dr. G,
Thank
you
you
for
very much. I
coming.
appreciate it.
Great having you here.
Yes, we'll have to have
My
you back.
pleasure. I'm happy to come back anytime.
All right, we'll be right back.